task force investigating the Trump assassination attempt is asking Biden administration officials for all documents, the second incident last month in Florida. In twin letters to the DOJ and Homeland Security departments, they request, quote, all intelligence related to threats to former President Donald J. Trump that were considered active, ongoing, or unresolved on September 15th, 2024, regardless of whether such threats were specific to Ryan Wesley Ruth or the September 15th event, and regardless of when such threats originated. Let's bring in Florida Congresswoman Laurel Lee. She's a task force member and one of the signatories on that memo. So, Congressman, thank you for joining us. And first, I want to ask you, so what do you think these documents might reveal?
Well, it's critical for the task force to understand what types of threats were being made against the president and also what Secret Service and other federal law enforcement were aware of at the time that these incidents occurred. So we need to understand what they knew, what they should have been prepared for, and then also where the breakdowns were between federal and local law enforcement that allowed these would-be assassins to get so close to the president. The number one goal of the task force is understanding what the threats are and understanding our capability and strategy for defeating them, because we want to be sure that President Trump, Vice President Harris, and anyone who goes or attends these rallies is going to be kept safe by Secret Service and the other law enforcement that are there.
Well, once you acquire this new information or intelligence from these documents, is your committee prepared to pivot from that point? I know you mentioned about anyone else running for president. We only have 30 days, and sometimes revealing and or assessing and going through and providing information from reducing the information to a report to you will take a longer time. So again, once you do get the results, is your committee prepared to pivot, and then what happens?
Absolutely. And we have already made substantial progress by the work that we've already done. Secret Service has enhanced the level of detail and the level of protection that's being assigned to President Trump. Without question, there are lessons learned on these critical failures that have already happened. So one thing that we wanted to do was immediately understand what happened and what could be improved in real time. The second thing and the longer term thing we're working on is understanding what needs to be done at the agency to review, to modernize procedures they're using, to ensure accountability. So when there are breakdowns like this, that it just could be absolutely catastrophic, that there are consequences for that and a strategy for fixing it. So there is both a short-term goal that we're working on, which is immediate critical safety in the near term right now, as these people are out there, as America's out there, as the candidates are out there. And then longer term, what do we do with Secret Service? How do we make sure that they're utilizing the resources they have? How do we make sure that they are actually employing best practices and also have what they need to get the job done, have the resources and have the people that they need to get the job done effectively in this modern threat environment?
Yeah, and to prevent any such events from happening again. So I want to switch over to weather, Congresswoman. How are you preparing for Milton? That's the storm heading toward the midsection of Florida, which includes your district. And how challenging are preparations while dealing with the aftermath of another storm?
So it's incredibly challenging. We're still dealing with the aftermath of Helene. There is still debris being cleared, people who are out of their homes. This area suffered significant damage in the wake of Helene. And Milton right now is projected to potentially be a major storm that appears to be headed straight for the Tampa Bay area. So this is a potentially very dangerous storm. We're working very closely with emergency personnel and local personnel to make sure that people who are in evacuation zones are getting that information and are developing a plan now to get to safety. So we do expect, if the storm stays on its current track, that there will be large areas that are evacuated to inland areas, northern areas, to get out of the immediate coastal regions where we could have a lot of storm surge and wind damage. So we're working very hard right now to make sure that everybody in this region has a plan, has supplies, has enough food, water, medication, all of the things that they might need to get through this if this storm does in fact make landfall where it's projected.
Yeah, it's projected for Wednesday. I think I remember hearing Adam Klotz tell us. But okay, so it sounds like you are doing your best to have your people prepared. We wish you good luck with that. It's a lot to deal with. Thank you very much for joining us today, Congressman Laurel Lee from Florida. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great to see you.